Yes, guys, we are finally back. We finally made it to the second reaction video I've dropped on this YouTube platform. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to this Brbptv. Be real, be positive television, brothers and sisters. Don't forget to do what? Click the like button, brothers and sisters, helping the algorithms to push these videos for them. And of course, brothers and sisters, subscribe and turn on that post notification. Subscribe, brothers and sisters. Subscribe and click the bell so you can get all the notifications when they tend to come from brothers and sisters. Click subscribe, click the bell, and then click all. Of course, helping this channel to grow when you subscribe in that regard as well, brothers and sisters. And of course, be notified like I indicated before, right here, brothers and sisters. But of course, without further ado, brothers and sisters, let us get into the vibrations for today. I do appreciate every single one of you guys for coming in. And of course, with that said, brothers and sisters, let's catch the vibe. For which I must be happy about to mention that there is some sort of new airline that has arrived in the nature of the Caribbean, brothers and sisters. And of course, there was some sort of inaugural visit or inaugural flight, I would have to say, of none other than Sunrise Airways, brothers and sisters. It's really interesting. I think I flew on Sunrise already, unless I'm mistaken. I think there was some sort of plane that flew from St. Martin to Dominica for some sort. And I remember maybe Sunflower or something, or Sun something. I can't remember, brothers and sisters. But they indicated right there that this is actually the first inaugural flight of Sunrise Airways, of course, coming to the nature of the Caribbean. As you can clearly see, they have their fire trucks sending out water, and of course the plane passing under it as if it's passing through a car wash, brothers and sisters. Nothing wrong with that. It just come and fly. Might as well rinse off itself, brothers and sisters. And of course has landed in Dominica. So that's yet another plane that has arrived in Dominica. Hopefully that plane definitely gets to do a number of services, for which I think a number of persons are quite happy about that. I myself am happy about that, considering Liat is gone. But it's rather interesting concerning Liat. Liat is also going to be on the up and upcoming. We're hearing that Gaston Brown is planning to do some, is in the last segment regard of making it operational right there, Liat 2020. And I think they're settling some sort of administrative situation with them in that regard. And then of course Liat will definitely be back up again. Of course, for you to travel in the Caribbean as of late, it can be a rather expensive one and can also be time consuming too in that regard right there, brothers and sisters. But of course, with this airline, Sunrise Airways, it seems like there's gonna be a new set of horizon and possibilities right there. Hopefully, definitely you know, it sticks to what we hope for, brothers and sisters. Of course, they had the ribbon cutting of Sunrise Airways, and of course you see a number of individuals, for which you see the PAL rep of Marriott there, and you see none other than Dennis Weave Charles here as well, who has done absolutely nothing from my understanding, but she's there to cut ribbon. But then again, the Marriott individual, I don't think has done anything as well. It's a bunch of individuals who are doing nothing when it comes down to this scenario of the Sunrise Airways. And of course, we are very much happy that they are definitely in Dominica, regardless of whether people do something in Dominica or not. People from Dominica do something or not, brothers and sisters. But of course, we are quite excited. And of course, we have McIntyre right there, and of course Colin and a number of the other individuals who I don't know who these people are. But of course, brothers and sisters, they are there to cut the ribbon so that we can have access to flying. Thank God for that. They also have quite a number of areas that they're planning to reach out. I don't want to get copyrighted, brothers and sisters, so I'm just going to read it for you guys. New routes, new prices. Say hello to Sunrise Airways. Special launch price to your favorite Caribbean destination, Antigua, Dominica, St. Kitts, and St. Lucia. So it looks like it's targeting these 4 countries right there: Antigua, Dominica, St. Kitts, and St. Lucia. And from my understanding, there might be some straight flights in that regard. And of course, you can see it right there, but actually have them separated. So we're gonna check them out right there, brothers and sisters. Of course, first off, we're dealing from Antigua to Dominica, straight flight, from my understanding, will be $99. Very cheap, no doubt about it. And of course, this is in US dollars, not EC dollars. Okay, Antigua to St. Kitts, $99. I think it's interesting that Antigua to St. Kitts is much closer than Antigua to Dominica. But hey, we're not making much problems with that, brothers and sisters. We're happy for the $99. Hopefully it sticks to that point. Let me see if they're gonna stick to that price right there based on the video. I think the video has some merit in that regard. Say hello, let me see. Okay, so it doesn't really say much in that regard right there. Let me look at the ending. Look at the ending. We fly to connect people. Book now at sunriseairways.net. So if you want to book that price, brothers and sisters, you get them right there. But of course, Antigua to Dominica is 99. Antigua to St. Kitts is 99. Antigua to St. Lucia is 109 US dollars. Of course, we're moving along in that regard. St. Kitts to Antigua is 99. I guess the same thing. Dominica, St. Kitts to Dominica is 129. And of course, St. Kitts to St. Lucia is 169. It's still much cheaper than what Liat used to be. So that's always a good thing right there. I think they come to give competition like whoa. So of course, straight flights, we're making it happen, brothers and sisters. Of course, Dominica is also on the scene. We're not sure. I think the timing might be interesting in that regard right there. Of course, Dominica to Antigua is $99. Makes sense. Dominica to St. Kitts, the same 129. Dominica to St. Lucia, 99. So I think there's the closer the countries when it comes down to flying, makes it much easier and cheaper. Now my question here is, where will it be flying from if it's St. Lucia? Will it be flying from the VG Airlines airport, or will it be flying from Heranoa? I think it might be flying from VG, which would make much sense right there to give the Inter-Caribbean Airlines some serious competition. They need to do away with that airline. Inter-Caribbean is a waste of time, brothers and sisters. Anyways, we're moving along in that regard right there. So this is Dominica's own. So if you want to go to Antigua, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, straight flight, one way, brothers and sisters. This is not wrong trip, one way that there. So definitely, guys, you can click it on that regard. St. Lucia, of course, St. Lucia to Antigua. I think St. Lucia might be the most expensive, but it's interesting. Dominica to St. Lucia is 99, but from St. Lucia to Dominica is 119. Okay then. All right, brothers and sisters. My question here is, does this include the tax? Hopefully it includes the tax. That's a question I would have asked right there. I don't think they did any press release, but we're seeing this right there, brothers and sisters. St. Lucia to Antigua is 129. St. Lucia to Dominica is 119. St. Lucia to St. Kitts is 169. Right there. 129. Let me see something. St. Lucia 169. Okay, it's the same thing for St. Lucia in that regard right there. So it's much cheaper than we are accustomed to. Obviously this is one way. So if you want to make two trips, you know, will this all be daily? Will this also be daily? Let me see if they have something like daily. Or they have a time, limited time. Oh, they have a limited time on it, brothers and sisters. So most likely the time frame is gonna change. So this is a limited offer, I'm guessing, from what I'm seeing there. They did not say how long it'll be, but it's limited time. So I'm guessing they're asking individuals to book right now, so you can have your cheap flights. Hopefully it doesn't go up too much. Okay. Yes, brothers and sisters, in that regard right there. But I'm happy for this because this is also increasing competition amongst the airlines. Competition is good competition is good when it comes down to the benefit for the people. If there's just a monopoly, it can be a bit terrible right there. Hopefully they also give us food on the plane as well. We welcome the food on Sunrise. Sunrise, what are you saying? Make sure we get some food on the plane. All right then. I guess individuals who want to I guess be a part of this, if you want to be a flight attendant or something of that sort, you can probably also, you know, reach out to them and express your interest in that regard as well. Anyways, brothers and sisters, there's something rather interesting that has taken place last night. And you know what this is, brothers and sisters? Frogs. This is a frog, brothers and sisters. I believe this is called the Cuban frog. And they tend to get real big. But according to this individual right there, went to a washroom up in the north, obviously, in the north of Dominica, somewhere within the north. The person did not specify. And this individual stated that they nearly fainted when they went inside and closed the door. So this was apparently behind the door in the washroom. So you know the washroom is open. Yeah, you open it for you to close so you can have privacy, and then bow. A frog is watching you as if it's a spy or something, brothers and sisters. Next thing you decide you go and take a pee-pee. You know, you're going to use the thing and the thing just jump on your thing. Okay, that's a little extra for Brbptv, but you get the point. Right there, brothers and sisters, that thing that jump on you, butt up, and you start screaming as if you was the partner from Home Alone when he was getting shocked. So you might want to be mindful of that, brothers and sisters. At least the good thing is that person saw this. Suppose this thing was on a pipe somewhere in the bathroom, and then the person was doing their thing and it just went plop. You know, that might cause some serious heart attack. You know, you might want to be mindful of this. It's interesting that I asked the question right there. When is Forestry Division gonna be doing anything about that particular situation? Because this has been a problem in Dominica for quite some time, and we're talking about the Cuban frogs. I think it's called the Cuban tree frogs in that regard right there, brothers and sisters. Yesterday, I believe as the rain fell, these frogs decided that they're gonna be showing themselves in the numbers after all. So apparently I took out about 35 of these things right there. There were a number of big ones and there were a number of small ones. But let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. These things are not easy to kill at all. You might step on one and you decide you squishing and turning and what have you, brothers and sisters. If you move your foot, brothers and sisters, it's going to shake it off and then just jump again. You see, it's very difficult to take out these things. So a number of persons have been giving their viewpoint in that regard. But of course, we're going to get into that in a moment. But of course, I asked the question, when will Forestry Division going to do something about this? Somebody who is familiar with that sentiment indicated to me, boy, they told me Sharon, of course, Miss Sharon was the one close to, she has a preschool. And apparently within that vicinity of the preschool, there's a lot of the frogs right there. And apparently they pretty much said that they have no clue how to deal with the frogs. No clue at all how to deal with the frogs. So apparently I don't understand how quarantine works, but it seems like the frogs came in as a result of Hurricane Maria when people were bringing in a number of things. And apparently the people in charge of quarantine who were trying to do quarantine were not doing their jobs. And then these things just came in and become a nuisance in society, especially in the north of the Caribbean, north of Dominica, right there. But of course it was indicated that they apparently have no clue how to deal with these frogs. And they are pretty much relying on the residents to just do their part and wipe them out. Well, I did my part yesterday, brothers and sisters, to wipe out about 35 to 40 of these things. And it was not an easy task at all, brothers and sisters. I think they need to do something about this. Of course, individuals came up with a number of ideas on how to deal with these things. One of them told me that they use Clorox to wipe them out. And well, I indicated to an individual, I heard some people using hot water to pour on them, and apparently it expands them of something. It expands them. I don't know if it really takes them out, but you know, it maybe expands them and they blow up. I don't know. I don't really know, but that's what another individual told me. So if you see these things, maybe you can pour hot water or mix the hot water with the Clorox and pour it on them right there. Maybe that might be an effective one in that regard. Another individual told me that her brother tends to put them in a bag and then put them in the freezer. So you might have food there, brothers and sisters. You put them in a bag. They want to act like as if they're deadly. Not true. They're squishy. You know, they're full of water. Put them in the freezer, brothers and sisters. Collecting them, put them in a bag and put them in the freezer. And after they freeze, then I guess the individual goes to bury them afterwards. That's a lot of work right there. No, I understand there was a lot of rain and what have you, brothers and sisters, but I think this is getting out of hand. To the point where it's getting out of hand, brothers and sisters, but there is something new that we are seeing right there. There might be some sort of new frogs in the place.
What's the road?
So this is by the Kepinski, aka Intercontinental Resort area. Hopefully they try to do something about that problem, because this is getting out of hand like crazy.
No, boy.
So right now we are seeing some sort of yellow frogs, brothers and sisters. This is not the mountain chicken frogs. This is not Cuban tree frogs. But apparently we're seeing some yellow frogs in the place.
All you have to do something with them frogs there, boy. Them f***ing yellow.
You seen them right there, brothers and sisters. They swim in as if they're in a jacuzzi or something. They are there just liming, having fun, brothers and sisters. They're meeting with their relatives. Hey, it's reunion time.
Poisonous frogs that there. We look at that there. We buy people hotel there, we boys. No.
And there's a lot of these things, brothers and sisters. A lot of these things.
That is a serious issue.
I think so. Look, one just jump. Just, you know, watching you and then he just jump. Look, it just jump. Look, wee. The brothers and sisters, individual indicated to me that this might definitely be a poisonous thing. Toxicity, this golden poisonous frog is one of the most poisonous animals on the planet. Now, it could be, they might be looking similar. Hopefully it is not that at all. But I think Forestry Division and the individuals in charge of wildlife in Dominica need to definitely know what's going on. Because if we have these things coming into Dominica, and these are one of the most poisonous animals on the planet, not in the Caribbean, not in Dominica, on the planet, brothers and sisters. So can you imagine you decide you're going to try to take one of these things out, and as a defense mechanism, as you can read right there, these frogs produce deadly alkaloid bacteriotoxins in their skin glands as a defense against predators. So you plan to kill one of these things and they let go it thing, and they need, I think the Forest Division need to, clarify this for us, because they pretty much look the same.
People who tell them, we boys.
I don't know where we get yellow frogs from, brothers and sisters. Have you seen yellow frogs before? I have not. I have never seen yellow frogs in Dominica before, brothers and sisters, and apparently we seen the closest thing to this might be considered poisonous. I think that's come on. It is one thing when you say you cannot do nothing about these frogs, brothers and sisters, that are apparently not poisonous. Where is it? These frogs right there. One thing where they came in around 2017 after Hurricane Maria. But it's another thing when you have these frogs now back in the north. The people in the north apparently not doing their jobs to quarantine these things properly to ensure that these things don't happen. Because this is another set of frogs that seems to be coming into Dominica. And they are doing what? Reproducing. And if that is the case, brothers and sisters, and these frogs are none other than very toxic. Not just toxic, but one of the most poisonous animals, not frogs, animals on planet Earth, brothers and sisters. I think, the individuals in charge of wildlife in Dominica need to come and do something. If we can send parrot, go, brothers and sisters, I think we need to send those frogs, go at them out of hope too. I think so too as well. This is another video of another individual seeing these things right there. They're just making noise. No, the Cuban tree frog, that is one of the ugliest. I don't know. Some animals tend to sing to their mates so they can mate, brothers and sisters. If that is what they're doing to mate, and trust me, I catch about 3 couples, 3 of them, 2 on top each other, just, having a field day, brothers and sisters. Well, they're in heaven now, okay? They're not alive, they're in heaven, okay? But they were having a field day, brothers and sisters. So if that can be done, much less for these kind of things, that they're reproducing like crazy, I think somebody need to do something about it.
Turn up for Pascal, boy. Man.
Sir, but the cuss word. And they jumping on the road too. Reminds me when the Cuban tree frogs were all over the place. Now, an individual indicated to me that the Cuban tree frogs are in Salisbury as well. So they started in Portsmouth and they just seem to be climbing. They're going down. They're going south. They're going south, brothers and sisters. They're migrating as if they're traveling the world. The people are moving around. They're traveling the world. Now look at these frogs are jumping on the road as if the road is theirs. The vehicles them rolling on them. That is how they are Cuban tree frogs inside there for sure. They singing ugly, I tell you. I tell you, boy. If they singing for their baby, boy. And you fall in love with that. That is lovely. Boy. To sing ugly so. And you mating. I tell you, I catch 3 of them mating with brothers and sisters. 3. And they ugly. You can be ugly and still ugly in singing. This dude. Well, brothers and sisters, tell the forestry division and the individuals in charge of wildlife in Dominica, you know, settle our hats now, please. Settle our hats, because they look just like these frogs, if they are not exactly these frogs. Literally tell us they can do nothing about the Cuban tree frogs. So now they're going to make these things spread, and if these things actually indeed those types of frogs right there, brothers and sisters, this is why I always tell people, I think what is happening is intentional. Maybe they brought in these frogs to probably wipe out some people. We know about the global agenda, brothers and sisters. They want to depopulate. YouTube on me already. They want to decrease. You get my point, brothers and sisters. So maybe they're planning to do some of it in Dominica. They're already taking away the livelihood of Dominicans towards the agenda of towards the 2030 agenda. I'm just speculating, brothers and sisters, but it all coincides. It coincides. How on earth we're not building factories and none of these things to make the people independent? How on earth is that regard? And then Scary coming on stage that they are aligned with the global whatever they call them. They are aligned with that, the global agenda. So if they are aligned with the global agenda and they are building houses for people that they cannot own, they cannot pass on to their family members, which means, based on what that Klaus Schwab's partner was saying, that people will own nothing and they'll be happy. But it's just for the elites, the people at the top, for them to be able to control the masses at the bottom. It's very clear to see what is happening in Dominica, brothers and sisters. Why people cannot talk because they are fearful of losing their homes. They cannot talk because they are fearful of losing their jobs, their mediocre jobs, that they themselves sometimes don't even get paid per month, brothers and sisters. They have to go in and beg silently for somebody else to help them because the government did not pay them. Don't you think that this is coinciding with each other? And keep in mind, brothers and sisters, I don't know if that is indeed the actual frogs true, but they look rather similar, don't you think so?
Boy.
They look rather similar.
Boy, all they have to do something with them frog there, boy. Them.
How often do people have to say that they need to do something, and then these people are doing nothing? Kind of reminds you of the inaugurals. Mamsel, them don't do nothing at all, but they come to cut ribbon. You know, they're not doing nothing. You know. Sunrise decided, hey, I want to expand my bongs and to do something. Let me contact. I contact these people and whatnot, and then you current cut ribbon as if you do something great. Similar to this situation right there, brothers and sisters. Something needs to be done. And unless the people don't demand, it's rather interesting. I saw some individual from Saudi Arabia speaking about the government and say the government is competent because the people are wanting better for themselves. Apparently people in Dominica don't want better for themselves because they are knowing what to happen to them. What is happening, not what to happen, what is to happen as well. What is happening, what is to happen. The future, brothers and sisters, they are allowing these things to happen to themselves. For the merit of what? Saving themselves, brothers and sisters. If humans were thinking collectively, things would be different. The individual said that the government is competent as a result of the competent people, which reminds me of what Professor Lumumba was saying. He said the people get what they truly deserve. The Dominicans deserve what they are getting right now, where you have all these kind of things happening. They indicated that they cannot do nothing. Well, it's indicated to me that they could not do nothing about the Cuban tree frogs. It's very clear that they didn't do anything about it because there was a plague happening last night, brothers. A plague. I tell you, I took out about 35 to 40 of these things outside there. I understand how people doesn't see these things. It baffles me. I don't know. Anyways, guys, what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts on this? Do you think these frogs are actually these same frogs right there? Do you think that they are definitely... I've never seen yellow frogs in Dominica before. So this most likely came from outside, just like the Cuban tree frogs came from outside. Was this willfully done, brothers and sisters? This is a question I have to ask. Because we didn't have Hurricane Maria, none of this stuff happening. We didn't have no disasters of sorts. Yet still we have these things coming in. Really? And it's not, I'm not the first one to say what's going on, you know. The very individuals themselves, the two individuals that recorded these videos, were wondering what's going on. And the frog jumping on the road.
But
You know, it's hopscotch, brothers and sisters. They playing hopscotch on the road. Oh boy. Guys, what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts? At least, thank God, we have an airline coming into Dominica to alleviate those who like to travel. It is about Mr. Lixon. This year, Brbptv, brothers and sisters. Be real. Be real, brothers and sisters. Don't forget to check out previous reaction I did earlier on today on the Mr. Lix reaction. And guys, that link will be the first comment in the comment box below, guys. And of course, don't forget to click the thumbs up button, click the like button. I would appreciate that. And of course, subscribe and turn on that post notification so you can get the latest vibrations. And of course, help this channel to grow in that regard as well. As well, Mr. Lix once again, guys. Be real, be positive.